It is our job to protect the children. If we don't, who will?
And that is a question posed by the good senator from Riggins, who was the sponsor on the Senate side of House Bill 314, the library bill, a bill that passed that chamber last session 26-9, only to be vetoed by the governor. But shouldn't that same question be asked when it comes to, say, I don't know, bullying in schools, not just books? Kids getting bullied has become an alarming trend in Idaho schools, driven some to some very dark places because of those interactions at school. And we're talking about violent incidents. That does include suicide. As parents, we're notified of any student situation at school, safety situation at school, from actual lockdowns to just drills. Some lawmakers believe the same should be done when it comes to bullying. Parents should be notified if their kid is the subject of it. But not enough, apparently, right, Joe? I mean, this is probably a pretty interesting debate about this.
Yeah, this was a piece of legislation that was debated today at the Idaho State House, and it was a really good conversation, but big questions on the House floor. I will say, though, House Bill 539, which we're talking about here, it did fail by a slim margin today, but the conversation on it was a centerpiece of the House floor session. So the proposed law would have made it a law for school principals to notify parents or guardians if their student is an aggressor or a victim in a bullying incident at school, or if a student has indicated an inclination for harm to themselves or others. And this actually builds off existing legislation, a law that was passed about 10 years ago. But that notification, they say, must include assistance materials for parents and suicide prevention resources. Supporters of this idea say that it's a no-brainer. Let parents know what is going on so behaviors or issues can be fixed before a dire situation.
For each incident, it would bring us confidence that the districts were providing important pieces of information to all of the parties involved, the bully, the bully's parents, the bullied parents, and specifically that they would be receiving, to quote from the bill, parental empowerment materials, including suicide prevention resources and information on methods to limit students' access to means of harm to self and others. So this bill can help we parents protect our kids by providing us with, for example, examples of conversations that we might want to have with our kids.
So critics of the idea on the House floor, who did, again, successfully defeat the legislation, they question the effectiveness of the law compared to what already exists.
There's not a definition of bullying in the bill, and when you start using terms and you start saying, well, we're going to develop a definition, it's kind of like, let me pass a law and then I'll develop the rules. And the law is not specific in what the rules are. And so, Mr. Speaker and good ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be a red light on this one because I think the schools can already do this. If this is a good policy, let them develop that policy. And I don't think we need to pass a law that makes them have to do it. If they think it's a good one, then they should do it.
So we'll see if this concept comes up again. I did reach out to the sponsor, Representative Chris Mathias, did not hear back this evening so far. But again, Brian, there's been a lot of conversations. The Idaho politics world, for example, if you look, the same group of lawmakers, they voted to say, yes, we should have some guns on campus just in case there's an incident. Again, though, this group says that they don't believe that this type of law is what is necessary
As far as the defining of bullying, I mean, why can't it be the same when they talk about obscene materials? That famous phrase, I know it when I see it.
Yeah. That was a conversation, and that was a point made today. So we'll see.
All right. Thanks, Joe.